episode of Spelljammer, crazy people in space, or wizards in space, or however you want to call it. Do you want to go ahead and give us a summary of what happened last time?
So, 2 weeks ago, we traveled to the Anther Sphere, which has a gigantic sun in it, and no permanent planetary bodies, but many portals within it of differing combinations, along with a nice large dwarven citadel, where we were able to dock, and so on and so forth. We also dropped off the Frost Foxes at their very cold destination for whatever their purpose was, collected the money, and continued on. We gave 250 gold to Doran's contact and have been granted an audience with the pirate king, Igor.
No, that was to find out about him, so that now you will head to his location to try to speak with him.
Right. So we're going to do that. And we were told to have a gift ready for him. And that's about it. The rest of us were sleeping off our exhaustion levels that we got from being very cold.
Wasn't that grand?
That's the end of the recap.
So the individual you're seeking to speak with was named Egros, or Igros, and he was the one you're told might be able to get you some additional information on an individual you're seeking by the name of uh, Hunla.
So we have a location to head towards.
Indeed. Though you do need to determine what sort of gift you want to present this individual with.
Quartermaster, what should we give him? Not to put all the burden on you, but to put all the burden on you.
The quartermaster is not of right mind because he is currently sleeping off his exhaustion. Therefore, he delegates it to Baden.
Yay. Do I have the sheet still? Or is it pinned somewhere? It looks like it is.
I hope you have your sheet.
Well, this is the ship inventory sheet.
I thought I posted it. If I didn't,
did.
then
Hmm. We got gems. We could give him 500 golden gems. That's a shiny gift. Or a +1 pike. That's about it.
It's up to you guys. Depending on what you provide,
Alright.
depends on what kind of diplomatic positioning you're in for your discussion.
Do I know about how much a +1 pike is worth?
Not offhand, I'd have to look.
Doran would suggest gems because gems are easy to trade. And if we're dealing with slightly more unsavory sorts, they'd appreciate items being, well, easier to
Disperse.
disperse.
Well, any opposition of 500 in gems? Because it seems like 250 was enough for the low-level contact. Maybe 500 will get us some good information from the king.
He'd also probably, maybe not appreciate, but perhaps trying to be a little coy with them and not give them all up front.
If Baden goes up there and talks, it's all up front. He does not have any of that deception or coyness. That'd be a Doran sort of thing.
Which is the thing I regretted with the last guy, but I really didn't care then.
That's fair.
Let's see here. The +1 weapon, you said, right?
Yes.
Do you know how much a pike by itself is?
No idea.
Let me see here, pulling up the equipment.
Well, it's very common, or a basic enchantment like that.
It is an uncommon if you're looking for the enchantment
Or-
variety.
Right. So it's a basic enchantment. It's not going to be
And you
that
said it's a
enthralling.
what?
A base pike is 5 gold pieces.
Pike? Okay.
So
Then it would be 1,005 is an average price.
I don't think anyone's going to use the pike, but I also don't think a pirate king would particularly enjoy a pike. You can always try and give it to him and see if he likes it. And if he does, great. Otherwise, I don't know.
Pikes are decoration for him. He sticks people's heads on them. And if we offer him a pike, we might get mounted.
I was going to say, whose head are you offering to mount on the pike?
Are the contacts?
You know, it's always better to have a pike with a head than without, right?
I'm sure he has some henchmen he could sacrifice for that noble effort.
The person whose head we're going to mount on that pike is the highwayman we're hunting. Now, if he happens to be friends with that highwayman, then we're going to be in a fight.
Yeah, you know, there is that.
Alright, 500 gold. Unless someone has a better idea.
I have lots of ideas.
But are they better?
I don't know. Depends on how you can present it.
Alright. Is Doran good to talk to the king and try and be coy?
Yes, we offer Doran to be piped.
Out of character, no.
Yeah, I think Dorn and
But
Cleof
a lot
are
of
both
that depends
trying
on what
to
the dice
fail.
does.
That's true.
From a player standpoint, not from a character standpoint.
Yeah.
So, if you
From a
want...
Doran standpoint, he will adjust based on the information he gets when we enter the place as to how bold he gets.
If you want to have either Yonovan or Baden use Doran for the negotiations, that is an option. That way you can give them guidance and let them be the person helping with the verbiage and talking to him.
I can probably get by and talk.
What all do you recall about the individual you're seeking to speak with?
The previous contact said that he basically is a pirate king of the area. Name is Egros. I assume that my contact gave me a location where we would meet him, and that we need to bring a gift, and not then say how big said gift needed to be.
So if we have no other votes, I said a gift should be 500 gold.
Sure.
Or 500 gold in gems.
Sure.
Basically, when it's something like this, there's kind of a minimum level for admittance, and then anywhere above that gives you a modifier to your roll. Basically, it will bring down the DC of the negotiation in your interest.
Do we, as
pull the covers
characters,
back,
have any idea what that is?
Probably not.
No.
I don't know that any of you have a dealings with space pirates.
Besides being taken away by them?
That actually isn't
Doran
even the
might
case.
as part of his backstory, but he was also trapped in crystal for who knows how many years, and so his
Information
tactics
might
may
be different. Yeah.
Who knows how many years out of date.
Yeah, I think, like you said, Doran's probably the closest option for that. From what I know, anyways. So, so you guys just want to head there and talk with Igros about trying to find your
That sounds good
individual
to me.
Halur? Okay. Who all is going to be in the delegation?
Baden, Yonovan, and Doran?
Oh boy.
Yes, indeed.
Sure.
Sounds like a fun crew. Alright.
Depends on if Rio and or Saradin or half of Aerolith want to show up. Well, all of Aerolith.
Them's the options. Okay. Well, unless someone else speaks up, I guess it will be those three who are going to go and talk with the man. Sorry, I had a big sneeze. I figured it'd be nicer not to blow your eardrums. So, you travel to the region of space indicated, and you find a large number of broken vessels, ships. A lot of them seem to be strapped together by boards or planks or other means of transit. Have you seen pirate movies where, like, you go to the pirate cove and there's a number of ships kind of slapped together along, like, a beach or something?
That's vaguely familiar.
Okay. Well, imagine that in more of a 3D design, almost like a bunch of spaceship wreckage, but they're wooden ships still, and they're connected together by rope bridges or planks or things like that.
So a spaceship without worries of suffocation.
Yeah. So you see a nice conglomeration of a number of ships. Like there's like a big battlefield or something, and all the wreckage has kind of been slapped together and tied together and made to be kind of a wreckage conglomerate of residences or something. So you approach that, and you see a little dinghy come flying out to you all. Basically kind of like a lifeboat. And it pulls up, and you see there is a few individuals. There is a pilot and 5 others, so a total of 6 people. And the one with the most ornate outfit speaks up. What brings you to the king's domain?
We seek an audience with them.
And who
I
are
mean,
you to be so brash of request such?
It's on a need-to-know basis.
No.
And we need to know. Just keep in mind,
Very well.
You're in a very corrupt setting, and just think of it as such. Like, they are all pirates, from what you've been told.
Which is why I didn't say it in a mocking enough term for what I had intended, but whatever. Very well. My name is Doran, and we seek to do business with him.
They all start laughing. You look more like merchants or prey than pirates. What business would you have with our good king?
A little bit of bounty hunting work. Not his head, of course, but we wouldn't be that brash, as you may put it. But an individual that we met in town said that this would be the place to go for
Information.
the appropriate information, and we are willing to pay for it.
Did they also inform you that we're likely just to take it all as well as your lives?
In that little dinghy, we're proud of our ship,
He points, and
and it would be stupid to attack us.
you see like no less than 80 parts. The different ships facing you have ports open, and metal barrels poke out. Yanovan, you see the distinct image of 40 cannons pointing at your ship.
They have legitimate cannons.
Mm-hmm. Yanovan, you see like early versions of similar weapons to what you've made, without the lovely purple or blue crystals strapped to these individuals' sides.
Huh. I see you've got early versions of my work.
They're different than yours. You know they're not yours, but you recognize the instrument's functionality, given your expertise. And you do know you're not in the Phlogiston, you're in the wild space.
So we can't have explosions here.
I'm trying to make sure everything's clear.
Noted. Hmm. And we have 0 cannons. We have.
It's okay. You might be able to get 40.
0 cannons right now.
Yes, true.
So, gentlemen, how would you like to proceed?
By jumping off the ship.
Is that what you actually say to the pirate speaking to you?
I don't need to say that to jump off the ship.
You can fly.
Doran can't.
Ah,
If Doran jumps off the ship, then, well, he's dead. Congratulations.
Well, no, actually, you would just float about the
Float.
midpoint on the ship.
You float over to them probably eventually.
If the ship was blown up, then yes, you're within their gravity air pocket, so you'd be pulled towards the 40 cannons and probably embraced.
Anyway, I need to answer his question so very well. His question was, why wouldn't we just take your ship? Oh,
yeah.
you were courteous enough to to come out and talk to us. You have your standards. I'm not. It's not good business to start attacking everyone who comes in, whether or not it's your territory or not. Tends to attract too much attention.
Precisely. But if it's never heard about, then it's not known where they win. But it's always best to gauge the target prior to making a rash decision. So,
I must ask, what's the going rate for an audience with the great King Aegros?
well, it depends on what you got. Sometimes someone's life, sometimes your weight in gold, sometimes more, sometimes less.
Well, in that case, let's definitely go against the bird's weight.
Or the mouses?
Or the mouse, indeed.
So you offering a fee to board, or are you offering a fee to just gain entrance to him? Because he usually likes you to bring something to him as well. Or he might just have us cut your heads off if you don't.
If it's not enough.
Or, if he feels like it.
This is where knowing a rough estimate of what's expected would be nice.
Well, that is all up to you, is it not? You kind of get the feeling they're probably trying to...
Gauge how much they can get from us.
Yeah. Why take less than you can take?
Mm-hmm. But you can't give nothing back.
We do seem to be at a little bit of an impasse here.
How would you wish to proceed, then, to prevent said impasse?
Not pay too much like I did freaking last time.
I have a feeling you probably don't say that to him.
So 100 gold?
2,000,000!
How many people are in the boat? Or in the dinghy that approached to us?
There's 6 in the dinghy that came up and spoke with you. You get a feeling that 4 of them are just low-end greeny pirate grunts. 2 of them are of consequence. The caster individual who's piloting the ship and the spokesman who you're currently talking with. Those
The
are the 2
spokesman,
of them.
does he also have a thunder cannon of sorts on his back?
The one you're talking to, or the mage?
The one we're talking to.
Yes. He has one on his side. He's kind of like the standard pirate sword and pistol combo.
We have a gift for the king. We weren't planning on one for you, but I can do you one better than a gift. I can make your gun shoot better.
And how do you propose that?
I have a means of fixing a better sight to it to allow you to shoot from a farther distance, more accurately.
Why don't you give him a demonstration?
Oh no.
I don't tend to shoot at that far of a range.
It just makes things easier to hit, no matter the range.
Oh, interesting. So it's just like, okay, how do you suppose doing that? Care to demonstrate?
Oh boy. Give me something to shoot at.
Well, basically he wants to see what you're planning before agreeing to what you're planning. Because why would skilled craftsmen be flying out to an area with pirates?
Fair enough.
Voluntarily.
I will get my very fine crafted thunder cannon out that has the sights on it and show him the forward and front, the rear and front sights, and how it allows me to choose my targets more than a general area.
They drift up to your ship a little closer. He holds his hands out. Mind if I examine that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he can come
You
over.
had said as payment. It could be gold. It could be someone's head. Perhaps the head we're seeking is the same one you are.
That's highly doubtful. Do you let him look at it, Yonovan, or not?
Not from where he is. He can board the ship and look at it.
They're literally like right next to the ship. Like they're float up right next to you, so the 2 sides are touching.
Yes, I will. If the sides are touching, yes, but don't go far.
He examines it. He's like, fine craftsmanship. I suppose I could let you land if you could do such with mine. He hands you one. It's fairly well crafted. It was actually one that he pulled out from behind his back. The one on his side seems to be functional, but not as finely crafted.
Okay.
Let's see you do the same on this.
I could get. Hold the box tight. There we go. Finally, non-cocked. 23 crafting check.
Nice. It's like, very well done. Thank you, sir. Come this way. We will show you where you can place your ship for the time being. You notice the 40 gun ports, cannon ports close. And the dinghy leads you back through a section of ship, actually parts. And so your ship can actually dock there. So basically a ship opens in the middle and then closes on your ship gently, and you can walk out of your ship.
Cool.
You notice gears and stuff built on the inside of this basically destroyed ship, where it has now been basically turned into like a giant claw that can be used to hold ships, and therefore you don't need to have additional ropes, and you can easily load and offload things, but also not have to worry about having water to land in.
So we managed to land without dying.
And
Phase 1 is done.
And we just made our opponents, more powerful. Just a little bit.
Yeah,
Just one of them.
great. It's right now. Who's to say there's not a kobold army with them, too?
You haven't seen any kobolds yet. But you never know. So he shows you into this interior, and you notice a large, fully functional ship on the interior that is immense in size,
Nice.
well equipped, well built, and kind of
hiding behind this shell.
screams pirate vessel, as there's a bunch of drunken people walking around it. However, you can also see plenty who are not, who seem to be on alert, the guards of the group. And he heads right for the captain's cabin on that ship. Follow me. I will show you to the king and see what he feels of you.
Excellent.
So, the three of you are able to follow him. And you're able to enter the domain.
Yay. I think.
I need to go take care of that thing I usually do for just a couple minutes. Plot, plan, and contrive your plan for diplomacy with this guy, and I will be back in just a moment, and we will do so.
I'm beginning to wonder if 500's enough. That was a pretty impressive show of force.
500 and some upgrades?
More than I was expecting.
Can't be guaranteed to roll high all the time.
What if you have help from someone that's been trained to help you? Sarah doesn't train to help you with at least some set. The heavier tools, I was trained to help you with some of the tinkering tools.
Have I lost connection?
That's no bueno.
No, we've gone silent. Did he step away? I missed.
Oh, yeah. He stepped
Yes,
away.
he went to go read to the kid.
Okay. Didn't come through to me. I'm like, oh boy, we're just silent standing in front of the king. This is bad. Hopefully this doesn't turn into a fight.
Same here.
This seems to be a give them enough to be respectful, barely, but don't give them enough to let them take advantage of us, because then they may just want to finish us off and take the rest. Like, it's a fine line. You have to have self-pride, but yet not offend. You feel me?
Afraid so.
But making the lead guy have a better gun than the people around him seems to be a...
First order of business is to try and get out of our pirate king to make sure the highwayman we're hunting is not one of his allies, because that would be bad for us.
Yes.
Or if it is one of his allies, then not push for any more information. Give him a gift for just allowing us to live.
Yeah.
Go.
Well, I suggest we approach it in a manner of making sure that we're not crossing into his territory by taking out an ally. We want to make sure that this is not someone you protect before we go on our way. We're looking for information about him to make sure that we don't cross you, because we respect you. So we come here out of respect. You are the power of the area. We have no quarry with you. We wish to have no quarrel with you.
And we wish to keep it that way.
Yes. I'm going to step away for a second, grab a drink.
So, what's the plan, gentlemen?
Try and get information out of the king. It's the usual.
So it is Baden, Yanovan, and Doran who enter. And I believe you said you're bringing how much? 500 in gems?
Yeah. 500 in gems.
Okay.
Since it would be a little bit worse to retcon it, because I'm feeling that we probably need more based on the show of power.
Well,
but
you could have grabbed more as you left the ship if you wanted. It's up to
You
you.
also have
not that I want
stone
to give it away.
access it.
You what?
He has the stone to access the inventory wherever.
Cleoc has
Yes.
the stone.
Oh, right. They sound the same. We were still on the
Anyway,
ship. We could
we're
grab
gonna
more.
sure. We'll have more available.
We'll split the gem
Okay.
up between all of us.
What are you having available, and what are you carrying it in?
We have 1,000 gems left. So,
Actually, let's just stick with our 500.
alright.
Because if we all die, I won't be too sad, to be honest. I mean,
Alright, 500 it is.
Okay. So you're just carrying the 500, or were you carrying more on you?
just
in
the
one means or
500.
another? Okay. I believe if Yanavin's going, he has a means to carry additional in a less seen form. But I'm not sure if he's speaking up or if he stepped away or what.
He stepped away
He
to get a drink.
stepped away to get a drink. I don't think we'll use his bag of holding to hold it. Just to keep things simple.
I'm trying to think of exactly how to describe this. You see a very ornate, finely crafted room. You see a number of well-armed individuals of differing races. You see a very well-crafted chair, throne, with a dwarf that has the darkest hair you've seen sitting there. You see the chair looks like it's probably built for probably somewhat of like a large size, and he has these large plush pillows, so it looks like a large kind of like European style throne, finely crafted with kind of like a sultan style pillows thrown in, and this pretty rugged looking dwarf with very black hair and beard sitting on it with fairly large quantity of jewelry on him. So kind of mix the image of like a sultan and a pirate kind of together. And that's kind of what you see. The jewels and the pillows from the sultan, and the looks and the smells from a pirate.
So Pirate King is very apt.
He looks kind of like, you know, a tiny kid in a large, full-size chair. What does Baden do?
Baden does not want to talk first.
Greetings, Pirate King Eargros.
You notice a elderly blind woman standing not far from his, sitting to the left, kind of like the left leg of the chair. She's sitting there. Greetings. What is it you wish of my king, and what do you bring?
We seek some information on a highwayman, and I would like to offer a small tribute with to to start off with of some gems. And I give over 250 of the gems. 250 gold pieces with the gems.
You see she gestures and the gems float over to the dwarf. He looks at them with a fairly appraising eye and says something that you can't make out. She's like, "Is this what you wish to present to His Majesty as your tribute for your visit?"
That is very baiting for sure.
That is a very baiting question. Yes, we seek that as our initial payment. We are prepared to pay more for the information that we seek as well. But first, we wish to not enter this as potential enemies.
Very well. What is it you seek?
We are, in this case, bounty hunters. In that we have taken a job seeking the capture of a highwayman known as Hunla. But we do not wish to make enemies of you if you are allies with this man. In which, in that case, we will end our conversation here and trouble you no more.
We do not see Humla as a highwayman. That is an odd name. We know he has entered here. Who wishes to seek him?
The job was posted or put up by a man named Kyrie. I think it was a man. Located in the Garganov system.
Interesting. So you flew all the way from Garganov to here for this individual.
It was more of a coincidence that we happen to also be in the area.
Intriguing. Do tell us more.
Well, I say we took this bounty in Garganov, but we had other business in the Anther sphere. So we figured, why not potentially take, if we're already had business in the area, we might as well see what other potential jobs we could take.
After all, traveling between the spheres is pricey.
Indeed. That is why we found it interesting that someone would come all this way just to find such a lowly individual. Don't think we would call him notorious, and highwayman is such a vague term for what he's done. However, we know he is at large somewhere in this area. We could probably be persuaded to find him for a decent amount of donations to the cause of the freedom of Anthir. Don't you think that is a just cause to support?
Absolutely. I don't know if I'm being entirely truthful with that statement, but I'm not going to say otherwise.
Very well. You may enjoy the hospitality of our place by spending some of your funds here for a day as we seek what kind of information we can find on this highwayman Hunla that you seek. And then we will call you back to give you this information.
Thank you for your hospitality. And for your ear.
Indeed. Have a nice day. She gestures and one of the big brutes opens the door for you.
Bow and exit.
I'll follow suit and bow and exit.
Same here.
So there is a number of cavernish sort of locations that you can partake in, or you can choose to do other things while you're here, or we can just skip to the return.
Dorn will be interested to see what things are being peddled around. Being a pirate stronghold, you could get some things that you couldn't get other places.
Well, given the interesting image that your good friend Baden here has posted, the location that was set in is pretty well an example of, what you can expect to find just in a Spelljammer setting.
Do they have any fine fruits to have?
They have an assortment of fruit-like
With
things
like a
that you
hard
can acquire.
shell.
Yeah.
These appear to
enough.
be dryable into a hard shell.
I didn't see what Baden posted.
Well, he posted an image from a GIF of one of the scenes in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Take what you can, give nothing back.
The whole
Say,
Tortuga scene where there's lots of less legal things going on.
Sure.
It was a cross posted from the notes section before it was deleted.
Yeah, that was right when we met them. They're trying to suss us out for how much money we'd give them.
Yep. We gave him an upgrade instead.
Anyway, yes, Dorn would go carousing. He would tell his companions to be careful.
And that he would not be.
At least try to act like you fit in.
Because obviously this shipload of people who've never done illegal activity in their life will fit in with a bunch of pirates. Yeah, sounds about right.
I mean, I've been on the run before, so, and I can drink.
Don't act scared or nervous. Have a good time, and these people will respect you.
Everyone else is a thunder cannon. This is great.
They are fairly common here, of very varying degree of quality.
Craftsmanship.
Yeah, the make of them is widely different, and the quality is debatable on a number of them.
Yep. Yellow is going people watching. He's going to admire or snobbery at different quality of thunder cannons while he drinks. and totally not start a marksmanship competition.
Yeah, Baden's got nothing special. He'll drink with Yonovan.
I mean, his blackened eyes should be enough to make him.
I'm special enough.
He has enough of a presence.
I mean,
you know.
Doran will drink, but he may also inquire about what our. Even though he's got a pretty good idea, just to try and get a little bit of let's see if he overhears anything along the how the efforts are going for freeing the Anthrosphere. In air quotes.
Okay, Doran, I need a D100 roll from you for your carousing outcome. And then we will also go with what sort of information you find on that next.
Alright. My first roll here is my tens digit. Second roll here is my ones digit.
What'd
So
you
that's
get?
a 4.
Okay. How fitting for you, Doran. So what details was it you're looking for? You said you're looking for details in regards to unlock?
I'm more curious about how the efforts for, as the mouth of the Pirate King put it, the efforts for the freedom of the Anthrosphere were going. Not asking how the rebellion's going in those uncertain terms.
Through your aspects, you do find out that it's not so much that as trying to make sure that no one else can get a full hold on Inthier, basically keeping it a place of non-government. They're not really rebelling against anyone. It's more they want it to remain a free pirate sphere. So whenever someone tries to set up shop, so whenever someone tries to set up shop and try to take over a larger portion of it, they ensure
Run the bureaucrats out of town.
Pretty much.
Woohoo!
So are they against the dwarves then?
Now, Doran, I
Or the
do need
Citadel in
a
general?
name of an individual in your past that you had less savory run-in with.
Oh. Suppose I'd have to pick a name.
Yep.
Pick a name, any
Some
name.
name you want.
You get to meet him again.
Kill him.
Or her. Don't discount the her.
That is
I
true.
was thinking a her, but I don't know what.
A scorned lover, Doran.
Esmeralda's a good name.
Let's go to fantasynamegenerator.com.
That one is well used.
Let's go with Aliana.
And what were your interactions with her?
She would have been a someone from a previous carousing from a long time ago.
I'm not sure I deserve that.
Okay. Combine that scene with, just the less savory parts. keep that in your mind.
Hmm.
Doran, after your lovely day of carousing and finding out about the endeavors to ensure that no structured government sets up shop here, and they're basically allowed to remain unlawful zone, you find you wake up in jail. You wake up and there's this lady scowling over you who looks like she's ready to harm you severely.
Do it. Do it.
What? What? What am I doing in here?
You see a individual you used to know looking at you. However, she does seem to be quite a bit older than you remember. What do you think you're doing here? You run off and leave me, and it's been so many years, and you just come skulking back. What are you thinking?
Alejandra? I would explain, but you wouldn't believe me.
It's been more than 14 years. What do you think you're doing?
Oh, I was only stuck in that accursed gym for 14 years?
I don't know.
I guess it would have been better for
I wasn't
50.
trapped by a wizard for some of that because of your stupidity.
Just out of character, you said that she was trapped by that wizard.
By a wizard. She'd said that, like you would know, but you may not.
Or you choose not to
What?
know.
Like what would... No, he wouldn't have done that. Even he wouldn't have stooped that low.
Doran, you're such a fool. I have no idea what you're talking about. You always were one getting into trouble. Ugh. They all warned me not to mess with you, but no, I didn't listen. And now look, slime ball comes sliding back to cause more problems.
It's never my intention, I assure you. Now, can I assume that you were kind enough to arrange my sleeping arrangements for this fine evening?
Oh no, you did that yourself. Once again, you get in a drunken stupor, you pick some fights with the wrong people, break some of the wrong stuff, and get yourself some minor charges once again. At least it wasn't worse than that.
I don't remember this.
Well, maybe you should drink a little less. Our jailer comes and unlocks the cell and lets her out. Your time's up. You can go, lady. You. Nice to see you're awake finally after the trouble you caused.
I don't even know what trouble I caused.
Well, then you need to learn to control yourself a little better, sir. You got bail of 10 gold if you want to get out. Otherwise, you can sit here for a few days and think about your conduct.
Well, that would require me to know what conduct I did.
Minor charges. Larceny, insulting the king, stupidity. You know, take your pick. I wasn't there. All I know is I was told you have minor charges and keep you in here until you pay 10 gold or enough time passes that we should let you out. Be exact, let me check your tag here. He opens a little book.
Fine, I'll pay your dumb fee.
You have 4 days in here, or 10 gold.
Please tell me he took his wallet. His coin purse.
Does Doran have 10 gold on him? Or does he have to actually try to get help to get the money?
I don't have any gold written on my character sheet because we didn't decide on what actual starting wealth we had for when we created the characters.
Oh, I see.
I would think that, you know, whether Doran actually had some of the gems on him or not, still, or whether that got pilfered from me from whatever things I did.
Probably would have turned those
You
back
should
over
be
to the
able to
ship,
contact the
but
ship for money.
Absolutely not. I'm not contacting the ship. Maybe Donovan and Baden
He's
because
just
they
gonna
were with me.
disappear.
Baden and Yonovan, let's go to you two quickly. What were you doing during this time? You
I
saw
was
him.
drinking,
Okay.
perhaps inquiring about a fight club or marksmanship competition.
Okay. Roll a investigation.
Certainly.
I'm curious about that too. That sounds like a great way to spend an evening.
Natural one. Your turn.
Not a thing.
Okay, this thing is very
A
rolly.
wild-eyed drunken dwarf asking about a fight club. No one wants to tell him anything.
13. Yeah, that's not great.
Yeah, nothing about a marksman competition. You hear a number of competitions of who can beat up who worse, and who can stink worse than who, and who can drink more than who. And don't hear anything about marksmanship, though.
Drinking competition with a dwarf? That's just not fair.
You do get to see a Doran later that night being dragged off after some noises in the
Bye,
other
Doran!
Which I apparently don't remember.
I had to roll on a
I
carousing
wave at
table.
him. Looks like he found some friends.
Made a reason to use one for once. So thank you. Most people would give me an excuse to use them, so I had to do something.
I mean, if you want to have some fun, you could roll one for me, because it's kind of what I described doing. I just didn't say I was going carousing, but looking for a fight club while drinking.
You want to roll a con check to see how drunk you get?
Sir.
Roll a con save.
That's more than you got before I apparently got so hammered that I badmouthed the king.
No,
Yeah,
he said he
for
didn't.
being
He said he didn't know your
blind
exact.
for being a blind and
24.
24. Yeah, you have a hard time getting buzzed at all.
This is weak stuff. Actually, that might be how you start Fight Club.
Alright, how can I make stuff? You want to go, buddy? Stick 'em up. This like highly scarred, highly drunk human, older guy heard you say that and seems to be taking strong offense at that. Putting his hands up like he's ready to fight you, as he
Which one are you gonna
in
fight?
4 directions at once. I'll lick all 5 of you.
I've got the blur spell for free.
I'll just stand up behind
I'll fight him.
Yonovan.
You should just like sway behind me.
Let's kind of pick up my arms and wave them lightly and stare out of my pitch black
Weird dwarf,
eyes.
you got a demon behind you.
5 demons.
It's friendly demon. It's fine. I only have to feed him a couple souls a night.
Mm.
He just like stumbles off. Like, I don't know what to do with that.
Sorry.
Oh no, that
Still
was
funny.
fun.
Anything else for you, Baden?
Nah, just a few drinks and then enjoying the night.
Okay.
His nights of getting very drunk are long past him.
Doran, as you are in your cell and the guard's talking to you, you hear one of the people in the cell next to you. Hey, well, whatever happened about that demon dwarf guy? And your jailer's like, quiet, I'm talking to someone. There's no demons here, you weirdo. So yeah, some minor infraction wound you up in here, sir. So if you can pay 10 gold, you can get out. Otherwise, you can stay here for 4 days. I don't keep track of what infractions people are brought in for. Just the level, and therefore can rate based on the king's orders what kind of requirements are in place.
Can we do like 8 goals for, 3 days off? Still keep them here overnight. While we go have fun in town.
You'd have to go to the jail, but actually today is when you're supposed to go back to the king and find out what information was found.
I guess we can go back then.
So you guys can go search for Doran, as you saw he disappeared.
Was he like dragged
I don't
off?
have
Yes.
10 gold on me, and any gems would likely be with Jonathan's bag of holding. So
I guess we do an
I would tell the
investigation
jailer
check
I
to
don't
find
have the
out.
10 gold on me. They would be with.
Investigation +5, 21.
Yeah, you know the way he was pulled off. There's obviously some sort of infraction that took place in the other room, and so you're able to find the, for lack of a better way of describing it, the constabulary office with a number of different cells. It basically is like a bottom of a ship that looks like it was used to carry creatures. It's just lined with cells, and you see this individual down the aisle talking with someone in a cell who looks to be remarkably like Doran.
Huh. I turn to the jailer. I'm like, how much gold do you think we could sell him for?
You say that to the jailer?
Yes.
We don't have slavery here. You'd have to go somewhere that has it. You can tell this kind of like a fresh jailer, like he's new here, but
Very funny. Pay him 10 gold so I can get out of here for whatever crime I committed, which I don't know what even is, other than minor infractions. But it's not worth trying to.
I don't even turn to Doran. I just keep looking at the jailer. Can you make him like mop the floors first or something?
No, that's not in my job description. Doran, the guy who had talked to you, had walked off, and you said you didn't have it on you. So this is another one that's on duty, the newer guy who came in after that Jonathan's harassing.
All right. I'll pay his gold.
I only know what I was told to do. It's kind of my first job here.
First day.
You're strange, dwarf.
Yonovan, just pay the man. We can
How
sell
much?
him elsewhere.
How much is he? How much is the fee to get him out of here?
Let me go look at the book. He goes up to a desk and he starts flipping through.
Do I have the means to pick this jail door?
Do you have tools?
I would assume that they would have,
I am distracting him.
Yes.
Not intentionally, but I am distracting him.
I
You
would
could
assume.
do an investigation to see if you can find some makeshift.
I mean, yes. Do I
Tools.
have thieves' tools? Yes. Would they be on me? Well, I don't know. How much did they? I assume they took everything of value off of me.
As we learned from
You
Skyrim,
left
there's
clothes.
always at least one lockpick somewhere.
Oh my. You can roll an investigation check to see if you can find something you can use on the floor or around that you could use as thieves' tools.
I won't do that.
He sits there like flipping through like he doesn't know. Oh, what's the number on the cage there? The cell.
Cage. Doran, what's your
27.
Thank you. 10 gold for minor infraction.
Which
What
they
is my-
haven't even told me what I even did.
So what is the minor infraction? Is it just generic?
It
or?
just says minor charges. I don't know.
All right.
I wasn't there.
So if we were to start a fight, would that be minor or major infraction?
Depending on what the fight was over, or who you started it, or how, it could vary, but probably a minor.
If that idiot slapped you, is that a minor or a major infraction?
Minor.
Okay. Here's 10 gold.
He writes it in the book, marks it off, takes the keys, goes down, unlocks the cell, and lets Doran out.
Out of character, I wanted to, when it's like, you're free to go, and I wanted to just open the door in front of him. But I decided to not get caught in the act.
Oh,
You should have
it would have been
done it.
difficult for him to have seen you, because he's obviously not experienced at that. So if you want to go back and do that, you could try. Investigation, see if you can find something.
Please.
Alright, my investigation for thieves to find something to unlock the door with. Is a 9.
Wow.
For shame.
Yeah. So you're not able to find anything close enough that you could use.
Baden
It's worth
can't
a
even
shot.
get below that except for natural 1.
I don't train people in investigation. At least not my first 2 characters.
You could have helped him, Baden.
Sure, why not?
How you help? Whatever.
14!
Yeah, no.
Okay.
It was worth a shot. But yeah, so he lets you out. Doran, you, Baden, and Yanovan can head back to seek the information.
I'll pay you back later, dwarf.
But then I won't be able to hold this over your head. Never mind. I was going to do that anyways. Don't worry about it.
Doran was the one who negotiated good rates with the Frost Foxes.
That is true.
And managed to get himself arrested in a pirate haven. That's special.
I'm pretty sure somebody drugged me or something. Here, I am a bit embarrassed that I told you all to be careful, and I'm the one who got drugged and dragged off and framed for whatever.
Sure.
I couldn't hardly even get drunk, so I don't know how you got drunk.
Neither do I.
Do you only have
Yeah.
one drink or something?
Oh.
I drank the bar dry.
I punched Baden.
Roll an attack.
I'm going to hit. God damn it! Sorry for my language.
Appear to be hung over there.
That's a nat 1.
I think he might be hungover. Swing goes wide.
Baden just sidesteps it with like a hand swiping it away.
No, Baden just goes into it and gives him a hug instead. Like, it'll be okay.
There, little buddy.
Get off me.
As Doran and Baden embrace, the sun rises. And you see an individual walk up to you. Your presence is required.
We
Lead the
follow.
way.
And he leads you back to the familiar place. You see the dwarf is being fed numerous lovely items when you enter. And the blind lady is there. Welcome. The information you requested is intriguing. Hunla is indeed within the sphere and is seeking to depart. However, we need to know how much the information of his whereabouts is worth to you.
Pull out another 250 in gems.
Yep. That's how much it's worth to us.
There is a location not far from here that has a bleed over from the Feywild, actually. It is basically a expanse of jungle. We hear he is hiding there.
An expansive jungle, eh? That is quite interesting.
One of the large individuals steps forward and shoves a piece of paper at you. Take.
I take it.
It's a roughly drawn map of the sphere, marking a location of the jungle area. If there is no further
Thank you. This
information
will
or
be
need,
useful to us.
gladly.
We appreciate doing business with you.
If there's no further need for anything else, have a wonderful journey and good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for the assistance. It is much appreciated.
Nah, bow and walk away. Do we pay them?
As Yonavan is feeling very jealous, I'm sure.
We paid them.
Alright.
So now you are.
I suggest you speak of this to no one, and you'll have my potential services for, and I'll may be inclined to do you a favor.
Okay,
The both of you a favor.
Baden says, I'm glad you did not stop on saying you had my services for an hour.
So, you are now equipped with a destination to fly to. You've successfully found where you can try to locate Hunla at. Anything else you wish to do
Well, I
before
say
you
let's
depart?
go. Is there any other special things you wanted to look for, Doran?
No. Let's go.
Are you sure you got everything you need?
I just walk off. I found your carousing table, by the way.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of it?
I knew something like that was going to happen as soon as I rolled so low.
Well, you could look at the DMG one. It's not really any better. It just has a lot fewer options.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them on that list would have been really interesting.
Like a 1.
Well, you know.
Anyway, we go back to the ship and say we have our information. Let's hope it's trustworthy.
The lady who you met in prison may have had something to do with you winding up there.
Mm-hmm.
You never know. So, you make it to the ship and you guys are able to head off to this location. As you approach the location, you notice there is a conflux or joining of a few different portals that lead into this lush, dense, jungled area. So essentially you have a plane of earth bleeding out some earth, and then you have air above it some, but in between you have the mix of basically the Feywild bleeding through on those two areas, making this dense, like, jungle area. So it's basically like a good-sized section of jungle just floating.
Floating jungle. Now that
Yeah.
sounds fun.
So, you've seen Avatar? The sci-fi movie?
Yes.
Well, the rocks that go that
That's-
they're floating, imagine kind of like that with just dense jungle.
Great.
So, somewhere
Hmm.
in that mess is where
Good to know.
Hunla is hiding. So, we can either try to continue and hope you guys can roll well and find him quickly, or we can pick up with the search for Hunla next week and hope that people are more cognizant and feeling better, since a few people said they weren't feeling great tonight.
I say we
I've had
start
good
fresh
too.
next time and just make notes of where we are now.
Okay.
So,
That seems for the best.
That sounds fine. I just wanted to let there be options, because I know a few
I
people were
appreciate
saying
the
they're
options.
a bit, off. I like given the opportunity to choose before potentially getting into a bit of a crazy ordeal, because it's likely that it has a good chance of turning into combat or other crazy things. Where the Feywild is concerned, chaos can transpire.
Very, very easily.
Very, very easily, to be exact. You did
This
catch.
carousing table has like no normal options in it.
Isn't that great?
What'd you expect?
It's a bit unrealistic, but sure.
Nah, it's not my favorite, but it's what I could find quickly. I want to find a better one. Now that people are actually considering that option, I need to find a good one that I like.
Notes are made.
All right. And you did catch the pun, right? Okay. I wasn't sure if my microphone was working very well or not.
I was just writing at the time. That was a good episode. That was fun. Got to be a little goofy being in a different area, in an outlawish area.
Glad you guys enjoyed it. We will see you all next Monday for some more adventures in the Feywild this time.